What's your name?
Stuart.
How old are you?
21.
What conventions would you expect to see in a crime film?
Well, normally they're set in a sort of crime-driven town or city, something like that. They're normally dark and give off the sense that they're quite dangerous. And then there's normally like a racial divide within the town or city or something like that. And the music plays a big part in crime films. You know, normally it's fast-paced and high-tempoed, and it sort of goes along with the chase scenes and the high-action scenes. You know, also it's normally set around like guns, violence, and drugs. You know, it's normally big things like that.
What do you look for in a crime film?
Like the ones that are really high-paced and have a lot of action scenes and things like that build up quite a bit of tension within the movie.
What's your favourite crime film?
I've got quite a few, but if I had to pick one, it'd probably be Gangster Squad, because of the era it was set in and the fact that it's got really good actors in it, like Ryan Gosling and Josh Brolin. It just made a really good film. I also like Lawless because of, once again, the year we were set in. The actors wear real stylish clothes and it's about doing up cars and things like that to get away from the police to run moonshine.
What conventions would you expect to see in a crime film?
A good crime film has got to have lots of changes of pace in it. So perhaps a slow start, getting faster, but then always got to have a good chase scene in it, whether it be a car chase or a running chase. Lots of changes of locations and a very loud soundtrack. To make it really work for me, there's got to be a really likeable hero, a lead, and a despicable baddie who you just really loathe. The setting of the scenes has got to range, and there has to be some darkness, but there's also got to be a complete contrast with that, with some light, and ideally with some comedy as well, now and again.
What do you look for in a crime film?
Suspense, and again, as I said earlier, lots of changes of pace, but it's got to keep the attention going and it can't slow down too much. Potentially a lot of dialogue, but the dialogue is going to be important. It's how it's filmed. So probably, I suppose, the films you remember is the good dialogue in a very atmospheric location. That might be in a landscape, could be in a car travelling through an attractive landscape. But the most important thing perhaps is there's got to be a twist in the tale.
What's your favourite crime film?
At the moment, that I recall, I think it's Double Jeopardy, and that was because I just came across the film and it was a surprise. Didn't expect it to be as good as it was, and the clue is in the title. It's terms of Double Jeopardy, and there was good twists. There was the chase, the car chase, and it was confusing as to whether the good guy was a villain or the villain was a good guy, but it all turned out well. It was a happy ending.
What conventions would you expect to see in a crime film?
I'd expect it to be set in a city, and it would be quite dark and grimy, so lower lighting and close-up shots to make it more tense and dramatic.
What do you look for in a crime film?
It to be very fast-paced and lots of action, and to keep the viewer gripped on the film and always watching.
What's your favourite crime film?
My favourite crime film is Seven, because it has such a difference compared to other crime films due to the character and how he works against all the different protagonists and his motives.
What conventions would you expect to see in a crime film?
You are usually expected to see sort of a protagonist being either a pair of policemen, like for example in the film Seven, you have Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt are the policemen trying to take down a criminal. Linking on to my next point, you have the criminal or criminals that are trying to perform a crime or a particular murder and are trying to get away and sort of escape the two policemen.
What do you look for in a crime film?
Well, I tend to look for usual conventions being sort of chases, maybe a bank heist like in the Batman film, and also I like a strong criminal. That I think that makes a good crime film for me. A criminal that is able to escape and sort of add more to the storyline.
What's your favourite crime film?
Personally, my favourite crime film is going to be American Hustle or Seven. Reason for American Hustle is it's based in the past. In particular, it's based in 1978, which is very different for films made in the present time. And also there's some very good actors in it, sort of make up the film. The reasons for Seven is it has a very different plot to usual crime films, including the 7 Deadly Sins, which I quite like the factor of, and it has a lot of suspense in that film and a lot of twists and turns.
What conventions would you expect to see in a crime film?
Dark and dingy locations, suspense-filled dialogue and tension-filled music.
What do you look for in a crime film?
A surprise shock twist.
What's your favourite crime film?
Heat, because of the strong protagonist and antagonist characters, and it's a classic.